Hi everyone, I'm Pierre Bonnet, founder of the MDM Alliance Group community. I wanted to record this quick video to give you some information about the Lifecycle project applied to a MDM system. As you already know, many MDM experts are convinced that organizational issues should be the main concern to tackle. However, this is not fully true because depending on the MDM technology used, the ability of an organization to react quickly to changes will be strongly different. For example, if data stewards have to use poor spreadsheets to govern their data, the responsiveness of data lineage, workflow, security, version management, etc. will be very different from a real MDM systems. But regardless of the data functions quality, there is a more subtle and acute discrepancy between MDM technologies. You must take into consideration two types of data management system. The first is based on a relational-oriented description language from which only poor data models can be defined. They cannot absorb business constraints such as many-to-many relationships as they rely on joint tables. They cannot include business rules and states management on business objects. Then, beside them, IT specialists must implement software in an approach of hard coding, which generates cost and risk. And I would say that only a waterfall lifecycle development can be used with this approach, which hinders the ability to iterate with business users when delivering MDM systems. You can say that this MDM technology is a blind alley. On the opposite, an MDM system able to manage semantic model allows a company to iterate when implementing and maintaining its MDM. Rather than a low-level description of data in a relational-oriented approach, the semantic-oriented MDM is able to absorb data models relying on a mix of three modeling styles: relational, object, and service-oriented. To achieve this approach, the use of XML schema data description language is required, rather than relational data description language. When relying on XML schema, data models are richer than previously. It becomes possible to deploy a real model-driven solution. Then software implementation in an approach of hard coding is removed, and the iterative lifecycle development becomes easier to enforce. Indeed, from the rich data models, all the MDM systems is automatically aligned without useless development. The more data models are expressiveness, the less specific development is needed. But be aware that many MDM software vendors state they are semantic-oriented, whereas they rely on the poor relational-oriented description only. Even more, some MDM tools bring a poor semantic orientation, insufficient to really enforce the model-driven approach. For example, they can rely on an XML schema, but without all required features such as the management of data links cardinality as reference data. When using a real semantic-oriented MDM, an organization can deliver more quickly its MDM in a secure way, as iterative lifecycle between business users and IT specialists is enforced. Then the responsiveness of the system is improved and the risk of tunnel effect is removed. Then in synthesis, I would say that the typical lifecycle to target to succeed in an MDM project is the following. From a capture requirements work, IT specialists design a first semantic data model, for example in UML. This model is used to automatically generate a first version of the MDM system. To figure out and validate this semantic data model, business users no longer need to waste their time by struggling against intricate UML models. Indeed, they use the MDM system directly, apply, of course, on the scope of the first UML version. They can navigate within the entire data model through a user-friendly interface and benefit from all governance functions such as workflow, right management, version management, etc. At this stage, I would say that it's very important, even more, vitally important, that the MDM technology brings declarative data modeling features allowing business users to adapt the semantic model to meet their requirements without any UML skills. These adjustments are done in collaboration with IT specialists during a workshop and automatically aligned with screens and governance functions of the MDM. Afterwards, IT specialists take into consideration adjustments to provide a new release of the semantic model in UML behind the scene, and then the new version of the MDM system. A further workshop, further iteration with business users is then enforced to validate outcomes. Rather than a dangerous and costly waterfall life cycles, the semantic-oriented MDM, also known as a model-driven MDM, allows companies to enforce an iterative life cycle which secures the MDM project and avoid the big concern of UML validation by business users. You will find further information about this approach on your website, www.mdmalliancegroup.com. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.